15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
H-bomb talk. The current three-power talks on the proposals to ban the H-bomb, at present taking place in London, have suffered another setback. Mr. Igor Petrov, the representative of the Soviet Union, has taken a resolution that unless preliminary discussion...
Mr. Walpole?
We've a very busy day in front of us.
Well, because of the H-bomb talks breaking down, you mean?
Exactly. Mr. Crichton will be very worried.
Yes, well, he's worked very hard to make them a success.
He's a diplomat, Miss Harkness. Setbacks are an occupational hazard.
I know. That doesn't make it any easier, does it?
Right. Anything in the mail?
Oh, just the usual, I expect.
I'll get it finished as soon as you can.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
What is it?
It's this letter.
What about it?
Well, what do I do with it?
What do you usually do with letters like that? Mark it unbalanced anonymous and put it through the normal channels for investigation.
Well, yes, I know, but this is a little different, isn't it?
How different? It's anonymous. It's certainly unbalanced.
Yes, well, I think Mr. Crichton ought to see it.
Well, don't be ridiculous. Mr. Crichton is far too busy to worry himself with unbalanced letter writers. Now, do as I say, please.
Come in a moment, Henry, will you?
Here, I say it's a bit of a turn-up, isn't it? Them H-bomb talks breaking down. I said to Bert this morning, I said to him, what did I tell you? He said, I just don't want to know. Yeah, I said, if I had my way, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'll give the Russians a glass of vodka and the Americans a glass of whiskey, and let them all sit down, have a nice cosy little chat and sort it out. All right. You got one of them, I can destroy the sun letters and all. What, Mr. Cartwright, Eades this morning.
Really?
What's his nibs over?
Crichton's far too busy to be bothered about things like this.
Not too busy to stop someone destroying the sun, I hope. I go on my holiday.
Bella, are you certain that Mr. Cartwright got one of these letters this morning?
Yeah, I read it myself. Anyway, love, that'd be 8, so shall I book it?
Oh, book it, will you, Bella?
Right.
I spoke to Cartwright this morning. He said the meetings have reached complete deadlock. There's no hope of a compromise this time. Yes, I told him that, sir. Well, I've invited the Russian and American delegates to a conference here this evening, an informal one. We'll try and work out something then. Yes, of course. Goodbye, sir. About 2 invitations to Petrov and one to Boardman, ask him to an informal meeting here this evening. I don't suppose they'll come, but at least we can try. You see, the drafts will send them off this afternoon.
Yes, sir. Now, Miss Harkness.
Yes.
Will you please arrange this? One to Mr. Petrov, one to Mr. Boardman, sometime after lunch.
Yes. Mr. Walpole? Mr. Cartwright is our delegate to the H-bomb talks, isn't he?
He is?
Well, he got one of these letters this morning, too.
Sir?
Well, I don't know. I just thought that if Mr. Cartwright got one as well, doesn't it make a difference?
What difference? Just because a man is a crackpot, I don't see he's any less a crackpot because he multiplies his efforts.
This letter was addressed to Mr. Crichton. I'm going to show it to him.
Now, Miss Harkness.
Well?
I'm sorry, sir. I told her she
It's
was...
this letter, sir. It came this morning. Mr. Walpole wanted me to mark it unbalanced anonymous, but I thought you ought to see it.
Let me see it. Right, I think Mr. Walpole's right, don't you?
Yes, sir, except that Mr. Crichton got one as well.
Exactly the same?
Yes, sir.
How do you know?
Well, Bella, she's the woman who brings in the tea trolley. She told me.
Absolute rubbish, sir. There was...
Let's see if Bella knows what she's talking about, shall we? Hello, James. Did you get a letter this morning, I can destroy the sun?
I can destroy the sun.
I can destroy the sun, that's what it says.
Hold on a minute and I'll ask my secretary.
He's asking his secretary.
Did we get a letter this morning to destroy the sun?
Yes, sir. I marked it unbalanced anonymous.
Yes, sir. We did get a letter this morning saying I can destroy the sun.
Thank you very much. Goodbye. Thank you for being
Will that be all, sir?
Yes, thank you. Henry, about this letter.
You're not going to take any notice of it,
So it's obvious what you say between my 5 travels by one.
It'll reach Travers through the channels.
That'll take days. Usual channels are. Let's short-circuit them for once, shall we? And let him start his investigations immediately.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Don't be too angry with that girl. This is key.